Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah?
I don't know where to start, but
Start right where you are now.
it has been
Never mind.
a darkness, but that darkness has changed.
Well, darkness is everywhere that light isn't. And light's easy.
Right.
Just got to get in the vicinity of it.
My son, he transitioned
Good.
8 months ago.
Not easy for you, great for him.
Well, it has been. And my family has been really surprised of how I'm dealing with it.
Yeah?
Because the day it happened, it was a shock.
Of course.
It was a numbness. That was my only child. He had no wife and no children.
Yeah.
He was like my rock. But my point now is, when it happened, the state troopers and everyone was at the house because he was in a fatal car accident, all by himself, on his way to work. And he had made the turn to better his life and everything, but he was sort of, his upbringing was more metaphysics. He wasn't introduced to a lot of religions, but he was good on his transition. After the state troopers left and they had told me, I heard a pulling, I felt the pulling saying, you need to listen to Abraham right now. You don't need to do nothing else but go. I said, I've been listening to Abraham for the last 7 years. But when it came to death, I ignored it.
Yeah.
So that particular day, before the crowd came in to see how I'm doing, I plugged in YouTube and I started listening. The relief came like that. I'm not saying I didn't cry and it wasn't hurtful and I wasn't sad. I was devastated. But
Sometimes.
on the other hand, I felt a relief of joy, like the pain subsided.
That's a pretty good rock.
I had 3 YouTube videos I listened to by Abraham, and I went to sleep with it. The day of his transition, everybody was amazed. It was so many things happening. Even the minister said, this child had preached his own funeral. Because I was in a hunt for his baby blanket. Because I wanted to hold him again. And the pain, and I cried. But at the funeral, they gave me a blanket with his picture on it. And ever since then, I started watching the signs. When I would cry, one time...
We're going to interrupt. Signs of what? Signs of his eternalness. Signs of his present. Signs of him having not gone anywhere. Signs of his interest in you. Signs of his awareness of what you're about. Signs of your readiness to receive him. Signs of you acknowledging the keeping of the promise, you to him and him to you. Esther discovered that, something that she wasn't looking for and didn't want to look for, when Jerry made his transition, because what she discovered was she had depended upon his physicality in a way that was not good for her. And when she could no longer do that, in fact, only when she could no longer do that, did she reach for where it really was. And that's the same thing that's happening to you. One day she said in discomfort, I can't find you. Where are you? And once she settled down a little bit, got distracted by other things, we said to her, Esther, you've got to look for Jerry where he is, not where he isn't. He's not in the blanket, not where he was, not where he used to be, where he now is. And with that awareness came such relief, because first it let her know he was not gone. Next, it let her know that she had access to him. Now, you might think it's strange, because she, of all people, must know that there is something that is non-physical. She's been receiving Abraham in this way for a very long time. But her beliefs, and here it is, her beliefs, your beliefs about who your son is or was, and Esther's belief about who Jerry was or is, were not valid, because she saw him as temporary when he's not. He's eternal. She saw him as missing when he was not. He was present. She saw him as not available to her when he was actually more available than he had ever been to her. She saw the relationship as having been cut short when what it was enhanced with new understanding and a deepness and a richness beyond anything that they would have ever accomplished together if they'd continued their physical relationship. Oh, it's such a nice thing. It's our favorite thing when somebody you really care about croaks. Because for the most part, it's the first time you really have a reason to look to where it all is.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's a good thing to feel the relief that you felt. It's a good thing to understand how you fit into the whole of all of this. It's such a satisfying thing to be physical and allow your non-physicalness to be at the same time. Because the more you get into that receiving mode, Son was good at this. The more you get into that receiving mode, the more delicious drives you have in traffic, the more awarenesses you have of all kinds of things, the more delicious your day-to-day experience becomes. When you open yourself to the fullness of who you are, that's when you really begin to live your life in the way that you've intended to do.
I want to comment on two things. When you said traffic, and I was telling my sister and my girlfriend, which got me here, and she has been very good. And sometimes I get on 85 on my way to work. And 85 is very busy. And there's no traffic. It happened for like a month. No traffic. I mean, traffic in the opposite lane, but in my lane, there is no traffic all the way till I get to my last exit. Not one time, but sometimes it'll happen like 8 or 9 times that month.
So earlier, just a moment ago, we were talking to you about this alignment. You see, the knowing of where you are in relationship to where you want to be is always known by source, by your son, by Jerry, by everyone who you care about and who knows you. And we're not just talking about the literal transfer on Interstate 85 from one place to another, but we are talking about that. But we're talking about from wherever you are to wherever you want to be on every subject in the world. And so when you allow yourself to find consistent vibrational resonance with who you really are, so that you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, and good at following the impulse when it's offered, then your timing becomes really, 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 really good. And timing matters in the subject of deliberate creation, because you are all here, lots of people with lots of different beliefs and lots of different intentions, lots of different creation going on all around you. And yet every single one of you has the ability, the wherewithal, to create exactly what you are wanting. In other words, the resourcefulness of this environment is beyond our ability to describe it to you. How can this possibly happen? How can you all be here at the same time, all be different in what you're wanting, and all be zigging and zagging, and us be able to make the unequivocal promise to you that each and every one of you can get everything that you want? And the answer to that is universal timing. The answer to that is being in the right place at the right time with the right vibration, with the right receiving mode, for the right understanding, for the right. That's what it's all about. Timing is about law of attraction.